All right, welcome to News 6 Extra. I am Christopher Heath. It is Tuesday, October the 7th. I am back. I was exiled to across the street yesterday for a lunch thing that I had to go to. Kathleen, thank you for keeping the ship on a steady heading
Well,
amid my
I
absence.
well, I had Lisa here with me, and
I have
Lisa
Lisa
carried
with
the
me.
show.
Lisa's right there. I can see her.
Yeah,
She's
yes,
just she's
right
eyeballing
across
me.
right across the wall there.
It is. So, but yes, no. Well, yesterday a thing came up, had to duck out, but I'm back today. Be back here tomorrow, and then I'm off Thursday. But good times. And it's the
Okay,
first time I'm seeing you since last Thursday because you were off on Friday.
correct. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad we got the team back together. You know,
It was, yeah. Now Penny's reign of terror was brief but impactful.
okay, good.
Yes. Okay. So I'm looking outside now, and the weather's fantastic. We've got something that resembles a cold front sneaking its way through. But I hear tell from the meteorologist in the meteorology department that we got a soggy end of the week coming up. David, what can you tell me? It looks like what, Thursday into Friday, we could be getting some, what, 6, 7 inches of rain?
Yes, as of right now, models are projecting as high as between 4 to 6, maybe even up to 7 inches of rainfall this upcoming Friday. As we go through the day on Thursday, particularly Thursday night, and then especially Friday, that is when conditions will really start to go downhill. And I want to show you what we've got in terms of your headlines for the day today and the rest of the week. So, rain chances continue to taper for now. Notice the little pause there. Dry air is beginning to move in overhead right now as we speak, which is why today and tomorrow is looking a lot more pleasant. But then it looks like there's some sporty weather possible for Friday. I'm not too sure why my second bulletin there disappeared. I guess it was like, yeah, no, the dry air is only going to stick around real quick. So it kind of went and did a vanishing act for us there. When I show you the radar today, though, you look outside and we're still getting a little bit of that heavier rainfall in areas that really don't need it anymore. No real deep thunderstorm action out there, thank goodness. Yesterday we had flood conditions ongoing for portions of southern Volusia, Brevard especially, where a flash flood warning was issued. Osceola, Orange, and Seminole County have also received their fair share of rain, and I want you all to take this in with me. These are some very impressive rainfall totals. Now, our station plots there, where the cities and individual numbers there don't quite capture the full picture. But let me go ahead and take just a couple seconds of your time, and I want to query a couple of these spots. Look at this. In Volusia, Brevard, portions of Orange County, we saw anywhere between 3 inches, 4.5 inches, with the southern portions of Brevard and northeast Osceola County almost racking up a total of 10 inches of rainfall. That's why, truthfully, we're a little on the concern side for what could be headed our way on Friday. Stick with me, I'll show you that here in a second. But let's look at the water vapor setup. This looks much better than we have seen over the last several days. You can see that corridor of the brownish yellow rustic colors really digging in over upper and central Florida, which is good news. We are still going to get a little bit of that action in terms of our rainfall later on this afternoon. Those areas already shown up on radar are going to try to expand just a little bit, but nothing nearly as widespread as we've seen for the last several days. We're going to see a lull there. One thing that isn't going to calm down just yet, which is not good for the St. Johns River flooding we have ongoing. That's also been a persistent situation for the last few days now. I believe going on day either 5 or 6 at this point is the wind component. Winds are still going to remain gusty, predominantly out of the east-northeast, and really could ramp up as we go through the day on Friday with what's expected to take shape. Temperatures outside right now, you can kind of identify exactly where the rain is falling. Cocoa Beach coming in at 81. Winter Haven kind of embracing the name there a little bit. Winter Haven at 79 degrees. The rest of us kicking back in the low to mid 80s, and our high temperatures are not going to get too much higher than where we are now, just because we've got some of that dry air mixing in from up north to keep things fairly tame. Now, for the rest of the day today, you can see that we are going to see some showers and storms hanging out for our southern counties before clearing out just in time, hopefully for your early evening, if not late afternoon commute. And then you can see as we go through very early Wednesday morning, notice the clouds really begin to dissipate as that dry air really takes command over the next 48 hours at least. You can notice here when we look at our rain chances, breaking it down county by county, much less than we've seen the last few days, and they're going to drop even further. Orange, Seminole, Brevard, and Polk County will have the highest possibility of seeing some rainfall, especially through the hours of 2 to 6 p.m. later on today. But then check out tomorrow. The colors almost go away altogether, which is excellent news. I know a lot of us out there have been wanting a little bit of a break from the gloomy conditions, albeit that's kind of symbolic for Florida during spooky season, October. Now, looking at the jet stream, we are still watching for what's going to be taking shape as we go through Thursday and Friday. I've stopped the clock at Friday at 4 a.m. as we begin to tickle the atmosphere a little bit with that incoming branch of the jet stream, that corridor there ripping through the central and southern plains of the bright greens and blues. That's an increase in our upper level winds. And what that's going to do is try to develop a bit of a low pressure feature, not only up to our north, high up in the atmosphere in the colder portions of that jet, but if you notice down over the southeast corner of Florida, kind of biasing Orlando through Miami, that finger of the jet there is what's possibly going to help to stir up some development of another surface low pressure. So there's a difference there. You have your higher heights, and then you have your lower portions of the atmosphere, if you think about it three-dimensionally. The one closer to where we are is the one we're going to be watching very closely. I'll show you on our future cast here, the energy and storms. I have a couple different parameters overlaid here, and I will happily run the clock back for you who may have missed it the first time. But this is what we're looking at for Friday afternoon. Look at that. As that low begins to further organize, non-tropical for the most part, could be a bit of a hybrid of the two. Tropical characteristics in terms of the showers and thunderstorms we see, but it will be jet stream supported. So we're going to have the jet overhead, really helping to intensify this system, but because the waters are so warm off our east coast, we're looking at a pretty sporty rain event for Friday, and this is corroborated by other computer models as well, especially the high resolution models that can see out this far. They're all kind of singing the same tune. But once that is all said and done, I want you to take this in with me. This is our temperature difference for the weekend, and it looks like our chilliest day could be on Sunday. Right now, if you think about it, we're sitting in the low to mid 80s across Central Florida. This is the difference we could see between today and Sunday. So if you subtract 4, 5, 6 degrees from where we are right now, the European model especially thinks a lot of us won't even get out of the 70-degree temps as we get through Sunday afternoon. And don't even get me started on the low temperatures. Starting the day with low humidity and temperatures anywhere between 60 to 65 degrees, which is fantastic. Now, taking you out for the tropics, we've got some breaking news out there. If you look to the right-hand side of the screen, Tropical Storm Jerry is now with us, our 10th named storm of the season, expected to become our 5th hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season. And then we still watch that disturbance that's moving through the Bay of Campeche across the Yucatan right now, still given a low chance of development. Now, focusing in on Tropical Storm Jerry, you can see is the 11 o'clock advisory, 45-mile-an-hour sustained winds with a central pressure down to about 1,006 millibars. Recon crews will survey the storm tomorrow to get a better analysis and handle on what this system's going to be doing over the next day or two, ripping off towards the west at 24 miles an hour. Now, I also want to show you the satellite representation. I'll go back to the track in just a second. Satellite looks very impressive. This is one of our first systems of this entire season that's actually taken advantage of optimal conditions and really getting better organized quickly. So I really do think that the peak Category 1 intensity that Hurricane Center has right now could be surpassed. When we look at the 7-day forecast, and this is one of many, taking a very close graze to the Leeward Islands of the Caribbean before curving away from the United States and possibly getting a little too close for comfort once again with Bermuda. They've gotten a lot of close shaves throughout this hurricane season. Now, taking you back closer to home, we're watching this area not only for that disturbance dumping a lot of rain over eastern Mexico and the Yucatan, but this is typically the source region we'll be watching through the month of October and early November for future tropical development. So the fact we've got so much moisture, so many batches of thunderstorms, and low pressures trying to form up now tells me we're going to have to pay close attention to this corner of the world as we go through the rest of the month. But finally, taking it back close to home, this is your 7-day forecast. Rain chances stay fairly low Tuesday through Thursday. Friday is going to be the wild card, but then look at those temperatures Saturday into next Monday, and the rain kind of goes away with the approach of that next cold front as well.
Speaking of storms, David, You know the name of our new USF, well, it's UFL team here in Orlando?
Actually, I don't, to tell you the truth.
It's
Feel
the
free to enlighten me.
storm. It's the storm that's happening right now.
There we go.
We have a crew over there at the Citrus Bowl where they are announcing it. But yes, Orlando is going to be home to professional football yet again. I think this is like our fourth or fifth team. But yes,
Wow.
the UFL coming to town.
That's awesome.
Go Storm. Go Storm.
There it is. Go Storm.
I know slightly more about this than you do. I know the name of the team
Yeah.
and the league, and that's it. I don't know what their colors are going to be or anything else, but yeah, pro football. So there you go. I know that has nothing to do with anything you just talked about. You had a lot there, but we will obviously keep an eye on the weather towards the end of the week because that could get a little dicey out there. So thank you, David.
Yep.
All right. Well, turning our attention to the coast again. If you were watching yesterday, you would have got a push alert on your smartphone, and of course, you saw it on News 6 in the afternoon. But shooting in Brevard County sends 3 people to the hospital. Suspect still on the run, and the sheriff is calling this an ambush. Mark Lehman has the story.
Deputies say the 3 victims were in a car parked across the street when they were attacked by another group of people. The sheriff's office is calling the shooting isolated, but this was also a very dangerous situation for anyone who was in the area yesterday afternoon. Take a look at the response from Brevard County deputies. That's also where we're getting a sense of how many shots were fired. Investigators placed down dozens of evidence markers off Clear Lake Road near Rosentine Street. Reports of gunfire came in around 4:30 yesterday afternoon near a seafood restaurant. According to investigators, 3 people were in a parked car when another vehicle pulled up. That's when deputies say an unknown number of people got out and fired about 20 to 30 rounds at the parked car. Sheriff Wayne Ivey is calling this a targeted attack.
It appears this was an ambush that took place, some type of retaliatory thing, if you will, but it appears to be a very isolated incident. There is no indication that this was not 2 groups of people that knew each other.
Ivy says all 3 people in the parked car were shot and taken to local hospitals. So far, deputies have not identified the victims or released any information about their conditions. And while investigators finished gathering evidence out here yesterday, they also have not released a description of the suspect's vehicle. We're working to learn more about that. We're also asking the sheriff's office if they've been able to uncover any surveillance video. Meanwhile, anyone with information that can help is urged to call Crime Line. For now, reporting in Brevard County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
And of course, we'll stay on top of this as more information comes out about both a suspect and the continued search. Well, today marks 1 week since our government shut down. I mean, partially shut down. There's still some things going on. There's still some workers that are being asked to continue showing up to work, although many will not be receiving paychecks. In fact, anecdotally, I found out my father-in-law, who works for the United States Army, he's a retired Army major. He works out at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. He is one of the ones who has been furloughed. So much like many government workers, he does not have a job to go to right now. And of course, again, this is 1 week, and the finger pointing continues on both sides, with most Americans breaking into one of 3 camps, blaming the Democrats, blaming the Republicans, or, a pox on both of their houses. Now, importantly, I mentioned that many workers are being asked to continue coming in, and yet they will not receive paychecks. Some of those are people who work within the Transportation Security Administration, TSA. And if you remember the last time we had a government shutdown, I want to say 2018, 2019, I think it was 2018, we had the last one. We get to about this point in the shutdown, about a week in or so, and the employees who have now been working and not getting paid start to call in sick. They don't come to work. This gets to be a bit of a critical mass for places like airports that require those workers to do their jobs. And now we're starting to see one by one, many of these airports are noticing fewer and fewer TSA workers coming in. This is a big issue. And as CBS's Natalie Brand explains, it's expected to only get worse as the shutdown endures.
The shutdown is snarling air travel nationwide, with staffing issues reported in several airports coast to coast Monday night.
The controllers yesterday were saying, we actually have to think about working 6 days a week, and then do I go out and take an Uber job and try to make extra money to put the food on the table?
The most glaring example, no staff inside the air traffic control tower at the Hollywood Burbank Airport.
Clearance is closed, ground's closed, local's closed, the tower is closed due to staffing. Please just contact SoCal on the 800 number in the green book for your clearance.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the department is slowing air travel in areas hit by staffing shortages to ensure the airspace is safe.
The real-world impacts could pressure the White House and lawmakers to find a way out of the shutdown. President Trump has said he's happy to work with Democrats on health care, but wants them to reopen the government first.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said last night the president has not talked to Democrats.
It should be clear to Republicans that we cannot go forward unless they sit down and seriously negotiate with Democrats to address the health care crisis. It's that simple.
Senators are expected to hold additional votes on the same spending bills to reopen the government that have now failed to pass 5 times. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Let that last little bit sink in. 5 times. They keep bringing the same bill up 5 times. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We keep bringing the same bill up over and over again, expecting different results. It's not happening. At a certain point, you would assume these people who, 435 in the House, 100 in the Senate, all of which pulling down nice 6-figure incomes, could get together and hammer something out. Not happening. Anywho, stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, attention, Kmart shoppers. I'm old enough to remember the good old-fashioned blue light special. Kathleen, come on.
Oh,
You
yes.
remember? You remember?
Yes.
You get that little over the attention, Kmart shoppers.
Right.
There's a blue light special, and you go find the blue light, and whatever it is for the next 15 minutes or whatever is discounted.
Right. And they usually had a little cart with the blue light, a pole, and the blue light.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember.
I know Kmart has gone the way of the dodo, but how is it that nobody else has seized on that just fantastic idea of like some rando product for the next 15 minutes is on sale?
I know. Like that's a good idea.
It may have been Kmart's only good idea because, as I mentioned, not really around anymore. But the stores that they have left vacant are now being repurposed. We've got one down in Kissimmee. And as Stephanie Rodriguez reports, it's over off 192, and the city is currently looking for a way to reutilize the space and revitalize the area. Here's her report.
By starting from zero, Kissimmee hopes to give residents a new place to live and play.
This is my wife.
The first place the Florendos shopped when they moved to Kissimmee 5 years ago was Jason's Best Asian Market in the same area as the empty Kmart.
If they will put up a residential establishment, it's good for the community.
Now, Florendo wants to see the space reinvigorated.
Maybe be business establishment or shopping malls or residential area.
And that's what the city plans to do.
So we see this project as a catalyst for additional development to attract investment to create jobs along the main corridor.
In July, Kissimmee asked for proposals, and after reviewing the submissions, staff is recommending the commission move forward with the plan by Captrata and Hedrick Brothers Development. Their proposal would transform this long abandoned area into 630 residential units, over 51,000 square feet of retail and commercial space, as well as an over 73,000 square foot indoor sports facility. David Rodriguez believes this project aligns with Kissimmee's redevelopment goals and what residents want to see there.
So the input of the community was that they wanted to see commercial development, mixed use, green areas, gathering places, public art, entertainment, and also housing.
While the city gets the ball rolling, residents like Ron can't wait for it to be redone.
Possibly a 24-hour gym, something that keeps lights on and negative people out of the parking lot would be good.
If the commission moves forward with the proposal tonight, that will give city staff the green light to enter into negotiations with the developers. Now, once that process is done, this will go back before the commission for a final approval. I'm your Kissimmee community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
So we go from the closed Kmart to a heartwarming story out of Charlottesville, Virginia. Gabby Womack has this story about it's an inspirational story about a teacher giving it back to her students. It's a program called Sneaky Cards. Here it is.
With this class especially, it's beyond, facts and figures. It's how can we communicate, how can we participate in bringing, raising people's spirits.
Jeff Crishone teaches civics and economics at Lakeside Middle School. He's testing out a new way to spread kindness called Sneaky Cards. The cards have different prompts, from complimenting someone to trying a new activity or meeting someone new.
The idea is to track these cards and just have people doing some fun stuff and spread it out across, as far away as we can get it.
Each card has a QR code so the school can follow it where it travels next. 8th grader Leah Garcia helped put the cards together and says it's a reminder that small actions can add up.
Like we work and how much bad people are in this world. So I feel like if we did something random and small, it would just be a little better.
It's a task that took teamwork and ideas from all avenues. Garcia says the process made her realize it can lift her own mood too.
No, it's just a random thing to do today. And I feel like you always should have something to do fun.
Crishone shares that sentiment, hoping it can make a small difference in the world.
Like anytime we can bring some joy to people or some fun at least, or we can do some kind of community service activity, get things out, raise people's spirits, especially in this day and age. I think it's a great thing to do.
The Sneaky Card program will eventually be passed out at shopping centers for people to use and help pay it forward further.
That's nice. We should maybe try that around here, Kathleen. What do you think? Little sneaky cards.
I like the idea. And actually, this teacher has a YouTube page where he kind of explains a little bit more about the sneaky cards. And so I was looking to see kind of what are on those. And some of the ideas were give a stranger a compliment, hold the door open for 10 people. What was another? Oh, make a homemade greeting
We can't do that
card.
here. We have security procedures here. Yeah, come on.
Well, we couldn't do that here. But maybe we could do some of the others. Security would get onto us.
Yes. Well, reminding people to take a moment and be kind. And, I think it was a couple of years back, I remember going to some seminar and one of the speakers was talking about the idea of taking a moment to have grace for others and just, appreciate the fact that, you may be going through stuff, but so is everyone else. And,
right.
There's ebbs and flows, but kind of taking that moment to just ask, is there something kind I could do?
Right.
So,
right. And it's just, spreading some joy, like the student said there's so much bad in the world, so if everybody can do one little thing a day, well, maybe we can spread some positivity.
There you go. Speaking of spreading positivity, how's that for a segue? It is National Taco Day. It's not only Taco Tuesday, but it is National Taco Day. Look at that. It's like Looks like corn tortillas on a nice flat iron, getting all crispy. Put a little ground beef on there, maybe a little carne asada. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Very tasty. Okay, tacos. It says here in the copy, tacos have been around forever. They've not been around forever. They've been around for a while. But the holiday began back in San Antonio in the 1960s. It was originally on the October 4th, but then it was moved to Tuesday because of Taco Tuesday. Now, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, for this is restaurants like Taco Bell, Del Taco, and others. They will be doing special taco deals today. So, are you going to go get tacos? You going to make tacos? Or you just, are you off the taco thing for today?
No, I am thinking about it. I shouldn't, but I'm thinking about it, about getting a couple tacos.
My kids love the hard shell. I don't like the hard shell. I feel like when you bite into the hard shell, you're just inviting everything to just crumble and fall on you.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, you can have the best of both worlds because Taco Bell has brought back some of their old menu items for a limited time, and one of them is the double-decker taco. So that way you get soft and crunchy.
There you go. I remember back in the day when they had the taco bowl. Remember this thing?
Yes.
Like 3,000 calories in a big deep fried bowl. And at the end of it, you could eat the bowl, because why not just roll the dice there? It was delicious. I mean, what's not to love? Think about it. You get ground beef, maybe get some skirt steak in there, some chicken. Not a big shrimp or fish fan, so we'll leave that to the side. A little guacamole, a little salsa.
Yeah. Some queso, maybe.
Yeah, a little queso. Oh, it was fantastic. I want to tell you before we start, Taco Cat is a palindrome. Taco Cat is Taco Cat spelled forward and backwards. I don't know what that has to do with anything other than Taco Day and palindromes.
There you go. Fun fact.
You want to talk about palindromes for the final 3 minutes of our broadcast?
Well, what else do you have off the top of your head? Do you have any other ones?
Any other palindromes?
Yes.
Rise to vote, sir. Is a palindrome. So is race car is a palindrome, and I believe do geese see God? Yeah, palindrome. It's only four I can think of right now. I'm sure there's more out there.
That's impressive because I could not think of one. So that's impressive.
Well, the rise to vote, sir, comes from a Simpsons episode where they're discussing palindromes. So that one I have to give partial credit to my failed childhood of watching mainly cartoons instead of doing actual work.
Oh, gosh.
All righty. Well, anyway, okay, it is wrapping up our time. Almost lunchtime. Well, your shift's coming to an end, so you just, hit the store on the way home.
It is. I've got to, avoid the taco places,
My wife will play every once in a while when we're doing taco night at the house. There's that, it's like a song they have on TikTok and on other social media called White People Taco Night. And it's about like the most, it's like this little song called White People Taco Night. It's like about how making like the blandest, most boring tacos ever. And just, I try not have that be me when we're doing tacos at the house. I try and add a little like authentic spice to them or something and not have it just be, ground beef from the store and shredded cheese from the store and tortillas from the store,
Right.
Actual.
That's how I make them. Just, all store-bought stuff.
White People Taco Night. All righty. Kathleen, thank you so much for this. Thanks for putting this together. We'll do this all over again tomorrow. Thank you to David Nazario, who, with the rest of our team of meteorologists here, will be keeping an eye on the weather as we get closer to the weekend and that rain starts to really inundate the area. And we probably will have some areas to definitely keep an eye on. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow at 12:30 to do this all over again. Of course, we break news all the time on clickorlando.com. And we'll be on the air today at 4 o'clock for News 6. Otherwise, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.